I was born between echoes, boyhood and flame. One reaching for heaven, one learning my name. God was a whisper behind childhood doors. Now he's thunder that waits on the forest floor. Some days they meet in the hush of my chest. Some days they leave me to guess. My father once walked like a sea, held his way. Still does when the tide forgets to wait. But I've told him it's holy to sink if he must, to let the blue carry what won't turn to dust. My granddad drank sermons from a bottle of sin. I sip from the same, but I call it medicine. I swear it was a shadow that led me to grace, a ghost with your name and a half-lit face. I'm scared most mornings, but fear's not a thief. We walk like old lovers beneath disbelief. My father once walked like a sea, held his way. Still does when the tide forgets to wait. But I've told him it's holy to sink if he must, to let the blue carry what won't turn to dust. Mama wore armor stitched from grief and grit, but her laughter betrayed every seam of it. She loved like a storm that refused to explain, and I learned to read her in the rain. Now I've got a woman who lets me roam. She don't ask where I've been, just calls it home. My father once walked like a sea, held his way. Still does when the tide forgets to wait. But I've told him it's holy to sink if he must, to let the blue carry what won't turn to dust. I've been baptized in silence, in thunder and shame, held by a woman who don't need my name. I prayed with my bruises, preached with my bones, danced with the devil where gospel groans. There's still a boy chasing the man I became, still tracing the map in my Father's name. There's a God who stayed when the flood came through, and a power that whispered, I made you new. I'm learning to bless what I can't make right, and forgive the ghost that brought you to light. My father once walked like a sea, held his weight. Still does when the tide forgets to wait. But I've told him it's holy to sink if he must, to let the blue carry what won't turn to dust.